There's a question that seems to be on everybody's mind when they talk to me in my function as ClutterMeister. The question is, what do I take with me when I go to see a client and get work done? It is an interesting question to ask because every declutterer tends to have a basic set of things, and on top of that they bring their own kind of stuff. Now, what I take with me usually fits in a small bag because I don't drive, I go by public transport or by bike, and that means I can't really take big boxes or foldable boxes, that kind of thing. But what I do have is a set of basic tools that I believe is the absolute minimum to do decluttering at somebody else's home. First of all, what happens is when you declutter, things are being shifted around. And stuff that you have been used to having in a particular place goes to other places, which means you have to be very clear with labeling. So what I usually come with is lots of white labels to stick on things that you can write on, yellow labels to distinguish them from the white ones which go away after the shift, but the yellow ones could be kept afterwards, and a whole set of different colored dots that can be used to indicate different things. For example, in a shelf, certain books go into one place afterwards and other books will go into another place. So this is an easy way to distinguish things. Working with papers often requires marking different types of documents, and I usually use these because they're not as permanent and they can be removed without a trace, and they can be reused afterwards. So simple thing to use. What I discourage at all cost is using Post-its. Why? Because those stupid things stick for as long as they want and then they go off and they fall to the floor and you have no clue where they came from. So forget about Post-its. No good. Apart from that, what I always bring with me is a pair of scissors, because you'd be surprised how many households do not have a decent pair of scissors. Pens to write things down on the stickers and also on note paper, because I take notes during decluttering to keep myself on track. And a marker to write things that need to be very visible, like letters to indicate certain things or numbers to indicate what goes into a bag, things like this. Apart from that, on a practical level, I always travel with bags, and bags require string, which brings me back to the pair of scissors that I mentioned before. Furthermore, I usually travel with tape, and not just the small kind of tape, but also the large industrial size, and a ball of rubber bands. Sounds weird, but you can do an awful lot with a rubber band, if only keeping pens together so they don't roll around in a desk drawer. So stick with these. Quite apart from these practical things, what I also bring is a torch. There's always dark places that you have to look into and you can't quite see what's going on, and a torch is more useful than a phone. I bring a camera, which is useful to show people what things looked before and after, and to give them a sense of achievement, what has been happening. It's also helpful to keep track of my own progress during a particular decluttering work, because multiple sessions require that we follow up on what's going on and what comes next. And in the end, what I also bring with me is an apple, a chocolate bar, and the irreplaceable chocolate-covered coffee beans to keep my eyes open when the things get tough, when I'm getting tired. So that's all I usually take. Give or take some other things that might come in handy in certain situations, but that's about it. You'll find that all these things have multiple uses, are pretty flexible. Nothing is really particularly specific to something, like a corkscrew. So they're all multifunctional tools. That's how I roll. Other declutterers may work in different ways. Stay clutter aware and come back for more. If you want more, there are options. Click the round logo to subscribe to this channel, or select the playlist in the middle to see more content, or check out the links in the description below. Oh, and feel free to like this video.